Now, to say anarchism is Trumperism, what the fuck? Here's just a perfect example of why the left really has no home in the Democratic Party and why we really need to consider this whole Dem exit ordeal either to the Green Party, Socialist Workers Party, or the People's Party. Whatever it is, we need to pick a fucking plan, because this is just a perfect example of how out of touch and how politically ignorant liberals are. One of my friends had posted, liberals are literally almost just as bad as conservatives, two sides of the same corrupt coin. Now, this is not a controversial take, especially for anyone on the left. I mean, conservatism and liberalism are really just different social aspects to liberalism. I mean, they're not that far. The Democrats and Republicans actually do vote quite different on a lot of issues, but our framework, our overton window for these issues is very close together. So it's really not something anyone should get offended about. Sure enough, look at this blue dogger. Oh, are we now? So I tried to block out everyone's name and pictures. I just thought it was funny. He's got the vote thing and the American flag, blue wave. But he got offended. Someone else, a lady, got offended and said, what I know is I have removed Jimmy, the OP, from my friends list because he's obviously either A, uneducated, or B, a liar. And then this guy replied and said, or C, a Trump troll, or D, all the above. And this is what's frustrating. It's very frustrating to be to the left of liberal, because we get shit on for taking votes away from Biden, even when we vote for Biden and when we protest on against Trump, and we still get shit on even though we're the main opposition to Trump. And so I butted in and I said, you understand that one can critique liberalism from the left, right? There are plenty of ideologies to the left of liberal, like Marxism, anarchism, democratic socialism, social democracy, etc. I don't know, maybe this comes off as condescending. I think it's pretty nice and straightforward. I'm not being a dick or anything. But this dude just replied with, anarchism is Trumperism. So I don't even know how to respond, because I remember one time I was playing my band Tides of Technocracy, and the other guitarist at the time said, oh yeah, I'm an anarchist too. I'm an anarcho-capitalist. And I'm just like, dude, I can't have this fucking conversation with you right now, but I'm going to be the only one writing the lyrics from now on, because if you think anarcho-capitalism is, you can't be writing the political lyrics. Now, to say anarchism is Trumperism, what the fuck? And then this lady replied to me too, Andy, you're such a good little cult minion. So talented at one thing and one thing only, parroting your master, to copy or repeat what someone says without thinking about it or understanding it properly. The children were obviously just parroting what they've been told. Synonyms and related words. Plus, to say something again or to repeat someone else's. What the fuck is this word salad? I'm the one in the cult, yet You've been indoctrinated, though, to call anyone who's critical of Biden a cultist. I don't know. It's that's kind of a cult in its own thing. So she also said, regardless of you pathetic parroting of you, master, the only anarchist are Trump's little minions. So basically what she was trying to say is that the only anarchist are Trump's little minions. And she posted this YouTube video. So I actually went and I checked it out, and it was, of course, old. It was about 6 months ago, and it was Richmond officials say white supremacists caused violence at protest. And now this actually was true to an extent in Richmond, which is of course known for having white supremacists fucking shit up. So this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is actually something that happened. Black Lives Matter were having very peaceful protests for 18 days in a row or something. And then all of a sudden, cops started getting hit with batteries and rocks and shit. And the officials at Richmond, though, were saying, we actually think that white supremacists were being agent provocateurs to make Black Lives Matter look bad, because they know the Black Lives organizers, and it was a very peaceful movement, so they actually didn't have problems with it. In fact, a lot of the POC and other people in the administration were thinking Black Lives Matter. But so this is true. The only thing is this has absolutely fucking nothing to do with so basically she was saying, "Oh, the violent Antifa people are actually white supremacists. So I'm actually a false flag Trump Antifa." I don't know. I really don't get it. She also said, "Andy, the anarchists are Trump's white nationalist losers." Okay. White nationalist group posing as Antifa called for violence on Twitter. Why don't you crawl back into Trump's colon since you love it so much? Okay, so the only problem with this, though, is that if white supremacists pose as Antifa, that means white supremacists are posing as Antifa. That doesn't mean that anarchists are Trump supporters. That's not how that works. And she also, this article she posted was also like 6 months ago, and it was white nationalist group posing as Antifa called for violence on Twitter. Yeah, cool. What the fuck does that have to do with me, though? So I said, what the heck are you talking about? Are you seriously accusing me of supporting Trump because I'm to the left of the Democrats? You parrot neoliberal talking points yet accuse me of parroting Trump. You can't be serious. Now, unfortunately, I think the OP blocked that girl, so I couldn't hear her reply because I was actually interested in seeing how she would debunk that. But that other dude, he tried debunking me. Funny because the GOP used racism in the form of anarchism during George Wallace campaign. And he says, if the shoe fits, meaning he's calling me a racist for being sympathetic to the anarchists, I guess. I don't really know. I guess that makes me a racist. So I said, yeah, when he said that anarchists should be killed, I don't get your point. So let's go investigate what he's actually talking about here. Now, what actually happened with the George Wallace campaign is that he had a pretty famous line where he said, if any anarchists lie down in front of my automobile, it will be the last automobile they ever lie down in front of. And he said the only 4-letter words that the hippies did not know were work and soap. So this dude was like extremely anti-hippie, obviously anti-anarchist. Had nothing to do with the GOP using anarchism. Well, yeah, it was the GOP attacking anarchism and hippies to be racist, but how does that debunk me? So pretty fucking stupid. And so I told him, dude, yeah, all he said was that he wants to hit anarchists with his car. How does that mean that the Republicans are anarchists? Literally, Republicans have always talked shit about anarchists. And so I tried to explain it to him. He says, dude, you're an idiot if you believe that. And someone else said about the OP, I'm removing him now for this stupid divisive post. So this is the fucking problem with liberals right here, is that they fall for the GOP's rhetoric tricks where they call everyone that they don't like an anarchist. Now the Democrats do it too. And just like Biden said that, at one point he said that he wanted to lock up anarchists and Antifa people, which sucks because we were actually the ones doing a lot of help getting him elected by sort of exposing Trump's racism and the racism of the police force and how we need to have a left-wing solution. But we get shit on all the time. So now the Democrats hear the word anarchist and they just automatically think, okay, someone bad. And notice how nobody responded to my points about Marxism and social democracy being to the left of Biden either. They just completely ignored it. It's just, oh, you said the word anarchist? Well, you're a bad person. And actually, you're a white supremacist Antifa member. So this is actually a little bit crazier than I'm used to. And it really just shows how we need to distance our, I mean, I was kind of part of the game of people where I wanted unity with the liberals because I was so fucking tired of hearing Trump's name for the past 4 years, and I could just absolutely not handle another 4 years of Trump. So I'm kind of like, well, we need a solution, but we also need to get Trump the fuck out of here because I'm tired of hearing that dude's name, and his handling of the border and COVID were fucking terrible. But a Biden administration could actually be worse than a conservative administration, because what happens under liberal administrations is that they just completely suck. They suck just as bad as the conservatives do. But the Democrats, they just defend it because it's like, well, it's the Democratic Party, so it must be good. So they'll defend, like we're seeing that now with the $1,400 checks versus the $2,000 checks. I mean, they're conceding their ground way too fast, and it's because they just don't actually care. They've got into this mindset. It's like a high school mindset where you have one high school football team against the other high school football team, and then your home high school football team could literally get in trouble with rape allegations and heroin trafficking, and you're still like, yeah, dude, but you're not really going to support the other team, are you? That's fucked up. And I know that was a weird example, but it just shows how our party has gotten in trouble for shit at the border too, and with Afghanistan and Syria and Yemen. I mean, the Democrats have just fucked up like the whole entire time, and yet it's, well, at least it's not Trump, at least it's not Bush. So it's like we do this thing where we just see the Republicans as the enemy, and then when our party does things that are just as bad or if not worse, we just keep, you have liberals that are still simping for them, and they don't get it that anarchists are to their fucking left, and it's like Marxists are to the left. They don't get that there's a left in America that they aren't included in. And I think that was someone actually posted that. Yeah, this is what somebody who replied to me. He said, I've been accused by liberals of being a Trumper when I critique Democrats from the left. They don't understand there's an actual left, and they are not it. The U.S. political compass has been completely warped by 40 plus years of neoliberal propaganda. But damn, this one is crazier than me being called a Russian bot. They actually believe the right-wing Antifa spook conspiracy. So that is what's kind of funny, is how they have this conspiracy theory, which it's like a double thing. It's like they know, the Republicans and the QAnon people, they know that it's not really real, that they were the ones at Capitol Hill, but they like need, for legal reasons or whatever, they're trying to just completely convince themselves, oh, really, it was Antifa, because we don't do anything bad. So it was Antifa. It was a false flag Antifa attack funded by George Soros. And it's like, what the fuck? But then actually what we do have happening is, as that other person said, there was white supremacists posing as Antifa, and the Richmond officials were even saying, yeah, these are agent provocateurs. They're not stupid. They know how these far-right militias operate. But does that mean that anarchists are bad? And also it shows how Democrats and Republicans both have this habit of thinking that violence is anarchism. Now, are they right? I mean, sabotage is anarchism. Protests have been an essential part of anarchism. But no, violence itself is not anarchism. Just like violence itself is not fascism. But liberals have a very it's like they don't know theory. Like, imagine a liberal reading theory. Would that, like, what's their theory? Like, Obama's biography? So we really need to distance ourselves from these fucking people. And it's like, as much as I want unity, it's like, dude, we kind of just need to take it on the nose, where we stop voting for Democrats and we just keep building up the Green Party and the People's Party and the Socialist Workers Party. And we almost just need to let the Democrats lose to teach them a fucking lesson. And I'm not just saying that because of this Facebook drama. I just thought that this kind of is a good way to show how liberals don't understand political theory, and they don't understand how they're not the actual left. And the actual left that are protesting in the streets and calling for taxing Amazon and how to Medicare for all and forcing the vote, how to actually help people, that's not fucking liberalism. That's socialism, anarchism, Marxism. Even social democracy is to the left of liberalism. We think that eventually we need to break off from the Democratic Party, because these people have just been crushing the left and co-opting the left, really stealing our movements and making them fucking suck, and then draping a gay pride flag over it so that it's all of a sudden okay. So we do need to break off from the Democratic Party. And anyways, liberals are fucking annoying.